The void, the voice, the beckoning, silent, screaming in the mind. A plea, a call, a reckoning, crawling, crawling up the spine. Convince, persuade, cajole, not quite. There's no reason, nor a need. The very thought, all day and night, dormant, longing to be freed. Ever present there within? Without. No, within. Yes, just there it was. Or no? Perhaps it's nerves, anxiety, a fleeting lapse of sanity. No, you are normal, same as me. Yet here upon the precipice, the edge, the cliff, the fringe, atop shore, sturdy edifice, the all-familiar twinge. Ideation, no. Instinct, urge. Perhaps it may be nothing more than foolery, the mind's internal play. Though, on the other hand, perhaps there's meaning deeper yet. How can you be sure, dead sure, before you've even met? Closer, closer, closer still. It's only for a peek. And in that moment jumps to mind the most irresistible leap.
I got the idea for this diorama about a week ago. It just kind of came to me and I couldn't shake it out of my brain. There's something called the call of the void. It's this phenomenon that most people will experience in their life, of your subconscious mind visualizing you doing some kind of self-destructive behavior, like jumping from a cliff or swerving your car off of a bridge or something like that. And it's kind of one of those things that you can get this strange fascination for. So that's what inspired this build and the intro to this video, which was written by me and read by my friend Joshua. He actually has a YouTube channel, and he does travel videos in Japan. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. He's a really great cinematographer, and he's awesome at editing videos as well. So go check it out if you'd like to see some parts of Japan. So jumping back into this video, I'm using this super thick XPS insulation foam that I got from a friend who does construction. 65 millimeters thick. Really nice stuff. And a box, this wooden box is from a fancy bottle of alcohol that I got as a gift. Basically, I'm cutting a square shape that'll fit into the box. That'll become the base for my diorama. I'm just checking the fit here. It looks pretty good. I think I'll have it sticking up just a bit. And now I'll take this awl and start to make my hole to the void. I dug out most of it with some pliers and then smoothed out the chunkier parts of the inside just to make it a bit more realistic. It had this weird texture on the outside surface of the foam, so I went ahead and shaved that off. You can see there's a lot of texture there, and you'll see that come in handy in a moment. Just get these little gnarblies off of there. There we go. Okay, so take some of our tomato and basil and our marinara and our forbidden dressing. This is PVA glue. I'm just gonna brush a good... Ooh. That was the glue bottle, guys. Right, I'm gonna take a healthy layer of PVA and just brush it all around with this throwaway plastic brush. And then I will sprinkle on some of the larger sand, little pebbles, and then the fine sand on top of that. This will give us our ground base. I'll shake off the excess and spray it down with some isopropyl alcohol, which will help the watered down PVA glue flow. And next, let's make a tree. So I thought our diorama would be lonely if it was only grass. So I tried, for the first time, making a wire tree. And I started with this copper wire, cut some lengths and twisted them together. And then what I did basically is worked my way up, making branches along the way, twisting the wire here and there, just in a natural kind of tree shape. I tried to keep 2 or 3 strands coming over at a time to each side, just to give me some variation with the branches. I think it came out okay. I could have made it a little bit bigger, but it works out fine. Right, next what I'm doing is I'm coating the wire in some super glue and then just tossing it right into my baking soda cup to give it a nice crunchy texture, which I will go over with this black paint just to give us a dark base coat. You can see that really nice bark texture. Dry brush with a dark brown, light tan, and then it was on to adding this foam flocking for trees. I got some random like 1/50th scale tree kit or something for like 50 cents at a recycle store, like a secondhand shop. This stuff was horrible to work with. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I tried about 3 different glues. We got there in the end. That'll go about here. I'm just testing the fit now. I won't glue it in yet though. And I will set that off to the side to harden up. And it's onto the wooden base. So I'm going to use this calligraphy ink to darken the wood. I can't recommend this because I have no idea what this is going to do over time. But the effect, at least right now, was really cool. So it might work and it might not. Something that does work well is this Mod Podge mixed with black paint. Nice and tough. There we go. We have our ground. Everything's coated. And I'm dry brushing some gray over top just to pick out those larger stones. I don't want to paint them brown, so I just want to be able to see easily where the largest stones are. And then I'll go in with my brown. I want some variation in the color here. You can see it's not entirely coated. There's some dark patches where you can see the black showing through. But even to get more variation, I'm going to mix up a dark brown wash and hit the inside of the hole there, and also I'm going to hit the top of this ground. There we go, nice and blotchy. Okay, now that that is dry, it's time to go onto the grass. So I'm mixing up some PVA glue and water, and this is my first time using flock, which is basically a material that you sprinkle on to an adhesive, and it's usually furry or fuzzy or grassy. This is a very fine grass. It came out of a 1/60th scale kit, so I figured it was fine for this, even though mine's a bit closer to HO scale, or 1/87th. I tried to leave some patches of dirt showing, and also, of course, the rocks showing through, and I was really pleased with the result of this. There's a little secret hidden gem. I printed off a bunch of skulls for Gaslands builds, and I grabbed one of them and decided to hide it right about here. I dry brushed some lighter colors progressively towards the top of the hole. I still wanted the bottom to be as dark as possible to give it an endless, bottomless pit feeling. Next, I glued the tree in place. I gave the outside of the box a nice coat of that calligraphy ink. Make sure everything was nice and blacked out. Hit the inside again for good measure. And the next part was something that I wanted to include that will tie this project in with a future project I have in the works. And that is this little astronaut guy. There's an artist that I really like named Simon. Stalenhag. I know I'm butchering his name, but he's the illustrator for Tales from the Loop. And there's a person in some of his paintings that looks similar to this guy, who I just 3D printed and painted up. A couple little dots of fluorescent green and orange here and there. Using a toothpick lets you get a real nice circle. I find it easier than a brush when doing little tiny pinpoints like that. I gave it all a burnt umber wash, and I was sure to wipe most of it off. Don't want them to be too dirty, just weathered. And now it is complete. And here's the finished diorama. You can see the box. I didn't clean it off that well. Some of the print is still on there, and this is like adhesive from the sticker. But yeah, this thing came out really cool. I don't mind the sides so much, since I wanted this to have a specific viewing angle from behind a little man. You can see the skull inside there. The opening to the void. It's not completely black, but if you don't look straight on, you cannot see down into the bottom, which was exactly what I was hoping for. Like I said, this diorama will be related to a couple other ones in a series that I'm looking forward to start working on a little bit more and developing. I didn't glue the man down, so I have some options of other little accessories to add, like this very tiny car. I think the implication being someone went down the hole. I could even add a little rope going down if I want to. But there's our little protagonist staring into the void. And I want to thank you guys for watching another one of my videos. It was really fun to make this diorama and also to write the bit of poetry at the beginning. Thanks again to Joshua for reading that out for me. And please like this video. Thanks for subscribing to the channels. Hit that button if you haven't already, and also the bell that'll notify you of any new videos. Well guys, I'll see you on the next build.